what Vend pricing trends are you noticing in your market? So kind of outside of what you're doing, just the market in general.
You know, it's interesting. I go and visit a lot of the laundromats, a lot of them, but I almost never focus on the price. I'm really looking at the culture and the cleanliness and the other ideas, whether it's the signage. So to be honest with you, I really don't have a good sense of the prices around us. And part of the reason for that is I need to run a successful business. I want it to run for a certain length of time, you know, however many years I'm in this, and I want to be able to turn around and sell it or pass it along. And so that almost is all irrelevant to the prices around me. If I wind up having a reaction from my customers, or I'm starting to lose business because of my prices, I need to actually kind of look internally and say, do I have the skill set now or the energy? You know, I'm on the older side. I've had a long career in another thing, and I did have a lot of experience of watching people with, you know, they'd come in strong and then they lose, or their skills would change. And I want to be honest with myself about that too. It's like right now I've got some fresh ideas. I think I'm pretty good at this, but I want to be honest with myself and say, well, there's going to be a day where I might not be as good as I think I am, and that might be the time to hang it up. So that's why I'm not focusing on my competitors' prices.
What about you, Al? Do you have a sense of what the trends are in your market?
I do, partly because I've always tried to be the price leader. You know, I always provide, in my mind, I provide a better product. So I want to be on the higher end of the price scale. I want to be at the top of the scale, honestly. But I think what I've seen is you've got people that are investing in new equipment, payment systems, you know, doing what kind of modernizing our industry, have the ability to raise prices. But I also see the other side of the zombie mat, where I've got, you know, zombie mats nearby that are lowering prices. And, you know, but they also don't have any working lights in the space, and they haven't cleaned it in a month, you know, but in their mind, they're trying to attract customers by lowering price, and it's still not working. So I'm not going to change my strategy based on what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing it go both ways, which that's really kind of changing the pricing a little bit in certain markets. I'm not following anybody down. I'm going to keep where I am. I'm going to provide a better product. I'm going to focus more on repairs and maintenance. I try to maintain less than 2% outages. I got about 137 machines. So my goal is to not have anything out of service. I think right now I have 3. So, you know, and parts, they're becoming tough to get. So, you know, my goal is if it's not turning, it's not earning. So, and I'm going to do everything in my power to keep those machines running. The zombie mat down the street can lower his prices, but he's only got 50% of the machines working. So he'll never be able to make the profitability that I do because I maintain all of my equipment.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that gap you talked about from the zombie mat who's lowering to you as the leader, do you think that gap over the years has increased or decreased or kind of remained the same?
It's increasing. So like I said, it's still increasing. He's literally just lowered prices again. There's one operator in town that's got, I think, about 8 stores that doesn't believe in cleaning. It just honestly just doesn't, or repair. And it just boggles my mind that you can pay for rent in all these spaces and have half of your equipment broken and filthy as hell. And what's the point of being in the business if you're not going to do it the best that it can be? So I've seen this kind of 30% is about where it is right now. So from the price of their machines to my machines is about 30% lower.
Wow, pretty significant.
Danielle, if I can throw in another thing, I think one reason I don't look at prices so much is that if I go 30 minutes in any directions, north, south, or east, I'm traveling into different cities and counties, and our water, the water and sewer where I am is extremely expensive, as well as the rent. And if I travel 30 minutes in any of these directions, I'm really traveling into different water and sewer districts, as well as rental markets. And I can look at those prices and say, well, how do they pay their bills with a Vend price that's half of mine? And it's because their expenses are a lot different. So if I really want to fixate on that, then I really also have to understand their expenses.